Hi there, my name's Matt. I'm going to give a quick reply here. It's faster to do it through video, and I kind of prove that I'm not AI. So, good question. How do you collaborate with designers? So, it turns out I have a lot of background in doing this myself, but I'll tell you that the kind of designers I'm going to talk about are mainly product designers or people falling under the UX, user experience umbrella. So, UX designers, UI designers. People doing prototyping and user research and things like that. So how do we collaborate? Well, from a product point of view and from a UX point of view, you're actually two sides of the same coin. And I'm saying this because I don't know if everybody thinks of it this way, but I certainly do. Your work is all defining requirements. You are de-risking all the work to come up in development and beyond. So product and UX have actually, I think, gotten a lot closer over the years, and there's a lot more overlap. And so much of it depends on how your organization structures things. But in the end, usually the UX designers are the ones creating the screens and creating the workflows and things like that. And then there's a collaboration point between product and UX in terms of a lot of the other activities. And it's hard to tell where that falls because it many times is organizational dependent. But there are things to be done, right? There's clarifying the problem that you're trying to solve, right? And what the use case is and understanding that use case, understanding the user journey, having conversations with existing clients, with existing users, right? Because it depends on if the user and the client is actually the same person or if they're different kinds of people. So there's usually many different people involved in this, probably some competitive research. And then, you could make the argument that some of that comes under UX and some of it comes under product. Again, it depends on how you work there. But then you have things like user research. Creating prototypes is something that we do quite a bit of. Create a prototype is usually like 10 times faster than building any feature into production or into anything that somebody could use. So you create a design prototype, and then you use that to get more feedback. Again, you're kind of de-risking your potential solution to a problem that you're trying to solve. And then, of course, UX is going to be having, design conceptualizations, trying to figure out different ways to solve the problem. You certainly want to have conversations with development and to figure out what are the ramifications of how to implement it a certain way versus another way. You do have to think about things like, if you're working with third-party systems, for example, how long does it take for data to come back, in what format? How do you present it? Is it going to be synchronous or asynchronous to the user? Do they have to get notified when something's done? There's development and there's UX design in there because it all changes the way that you're going to eventually implement it. But in the end, I would say your objective, you meaning you, product and design, your objective is to deliver, a clear definition of the problem and what the journey is, how it's going to be solved, what the user stories are, and then the complete set of designs that are going to implement that feature in your product. And so you really do have to be working tightly, I would say, with design as much as you can. And again, I'm talking about UX design. So I hope that helps, and you have a good day.